I've learned that the ability to individually mute people is nice because you have kids running around calling people slurs. But aside from that, I am very unfortunately in love with this game.
That's the biggest problem I'm going to tell you right now. So you got to watch out when you go to Black Cat or Midnight Rooftop or places like Spirit of the Sea, because there's grown men like me that are 37.
I don't know. I guess the amount that I drink in VR would not be like socially acceptable outside of VR, because like there was a point where I was drinking a ton, and I know that a lot of like VR users struggle with that type of shit when they get into like the club scene and stuff like that. Outside of VR, like I don't drink a lot, but sometimes when I'm in VR, I like to have some drinks now. I don't do that anymore, obviously, but then if I were to tell someone like on the street, like, hey, I love to strap a virtual headset on and drink my insides out, I don't know how they would really handle that.
I mean, this is like my 4th or 5th day, like actually having the VR headset. I can definitely say that with the few experiences that I've had, especially like when you really actually do have like a good night or something, it lives up to it. There's like a little comedy stage, people were up trying to do that, and everybody was just having a really good time. And times like that lives up to the hype. But you're not just gonna be able to walk in and find it, even with the whole groups thing that they put out.
All right, here's my experience. Mind you, I've been around for like 5 days now. So you hop into like a Black Cat or like Popular Instance, it's almost like stepping into a daycare, dude. It's just like screaming kids run back and forth. A lot of people just like roaming around, like picking shit up, and like then you got the mirror people. You got like 6 or 7 people, all like cuddle puddle, like. That's my experience with Publix. Here's the cheat code, dude. Here's the cheat code. Here's how I met this girl who's cool. You'd go to the music visualizer worlds, then you can share music.
As a mute myself, extroverts like to adopt introverts, so that's all I can say.
People say like, oh, that's my mute, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my mute.
I have managed to meet a lot of types of groups in public chats. Mainly speaking, people that look at mirrors over and over, basically just staring at the mirror like a wall. Second, it's the e-girls, avatars barely dressed. And probably the most common type of people now that you see is underage people right now, just populating this entire space. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I hope there will be a decrease of underages and minors, basically, quote unquote, populating the public worlds.
For you, it's a lot of screaming kids, but recently I've tried to join more PC worlds. The situations there is a lot different.
Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing.
Well, I can't really leave anyways because I'm disabled. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just decompressing, chilling, exploring something different. Well, it's definitely good for my mental health, I think, because I feel like I'm going insane, sitting inside all the time, even though I always loved being inside and stuff, but after a certain point, it's like, man, I just want to go shopping or take a walk, All my life, I've had like heart palpitations and stuff like that, but they've been getting more and more intense, and I'm getting like skipped beats, like in arrhythmias and stuff, and the doctors, they don't really know what's wrong with me, and I can't move around anymore without feeling excruciating, crushing chest pain. So I kind of just have to sit back and relax all day, every day. Otherwise, I'm miserable.
There's plenty of people that I've known that have literally been like, they get to their 21st birthday and they literally celebrate that in VR. That's when their whole they go downhill. The heavy drinking culture thing might be the fact that a lot of people that jump into virtual reality are kind of socially awkward. And there's a thing that you get called liquid courage. So a lot of people probably depend on that to really socially interact with other people. I don't know. I've always been kind of a social shutout. Like, I don't really like talking to people IRL, like, even though I work in a job where I have to do a lot of talking to other people, and it's like one of the fakest things I do. I don't know, in terms of just people feeling like they want to fit in, that's the main thing, honestly. I think they just want to fit in. They see that everyone else is doing it, so they assume that it's like socially acceptable, I guess, within virtual reality. That's something that I deal with every weekend. If I am to get in VR, like, a lot of my buddies will be like, first thing when they see me, they don't say hi to me. They'll be like, hey, are you drinking? Yeah, I'm drinking water. You should drink some water too if that's the first thing you're thinking about. I've seen some crazy stuff that's happened in some of those drinking worlds. Like, I've literally seen a guy have a stroke before, and that shit was scary because there's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? Like, just talk to him?
Just by looking back through history on how they treated people who were just slightly different. I just find it really interesting to look back in the past and see the ways different groups of people were treated for being different. And that's not limited to just different groups of people in terms of cultures, but just people who were different mentally. Like, everybody got treated differently, and they'd look at you like you were crazy and want to treat you as if you were crazy, and then they'd do something to you because you were crazy. And it wasn't always the sit down and talk to you about your problems the way we think about it now. So I find that really interesting and see that we've progressed a lot more. If I had one message to give to the rest of the world, it would be to, we were talking about people being chronically online and being stuck in places. It's to just sort of get in touch with yourself. A lot of people are so focused on external stuff, and they place their identity with that. They identify with things rather than figuring out who they are as a person. So I want to press the importance to anybody listening that, it's okay to be by yourself and figure out shit before you try to identify with a bunch of different stuff and learn other things of people telling you how you should think or feel.
Surface level, it's kind of like the world's biggest cafeteria or bar. On the deeper level, you kind of find a home here because it's a place for kind of people who exist on the fringe.
You'll meet some very interesting characters, but you also will find those who have really foul mouths on them. Just, ugh. But other than that, there are other good people here. Mainly the community here just are here to have fun and be part of a community of many diverse people.
Okay, so keep in mind, I've been playing this game since December of 2017. So I was playing before the EAC update, and a lot of times it would be the public instances were like really cancerous and shit like that. You get like people like being like racist, like slurs and shit like that. I don't fully know how the publics are fully nowadays, considering since I came back. I've only had a few instances where there be shit like that. Other than that, like, publics are chill right now. Oh, on God. Yeah, literally, before I quit VRC for like the past like year or so, what I was mostly doing is I would set myself in front of a mirror, I would boot up a game and just casually talk to people while playing. Oh yeah, you get like the most interesting conversations. I've met a lot of good people as well doing that.
But it's a little difficult sometimes, especially in the, let's say, more popular worlds. There's a lot of, a lot of people who just want to fool around.
So here's my rule of thumb. Like 1 out of every 10 conversations is going to be, fairly decent. 9 out of 10 are just going to be morons that are memeing like 90% of the time because they watch some YouTube video about VR chat.
Most of the time I get on here, even if I don't make friends with a person and talk with them forever afterward, generally a good experience. I got some good friends on here that I've met before in real life. I'd say it's overall good. I mean, if it weren't, I wouldn't be coming back to it.
I've been to that point a couple times where I've just been asleep in full body, like literally laying on the middle of the floor, and there's like loud music playing all around me. There's like no normal way a person could actually sleep like that, but I'm just there I am, just laying there on the floor sleeping. As much as I hate to say it, yes, I honestly think that this is definitely the future. Obviously, when the technology gets more advanced and we don't have to wear as many items on our body just to get what we want, like, I feel like you're gonna see hella people here. Maybe not necessarily in this platform, because this platform doesn't necessarily make the right choices. Yeah, EAC is not necessarily something that VR chat needs. I mean, I understand that being utilized in like free to play games because it's literally a free anti-cheat system, but like, why does fucking VR chat need that? Because some people are using some mods and they don't like people using mods for like quality of life things. Like, I don't understand.
You'd also, like, I walked into a world once and it was 2 people who were like PhD level computer science, but like you get a wide range of intellectuals too. I enjoy it. I mean, I've been logging on like 5 days in a row now. I'm kind of hooked, and I got here's the thing, I'm on desktop. My index is in the mail, baby. Friday.
Oh, nice. You got an index.
Once my index arrives, I'm pretty sure I'm going to dive in, and it's going to be like one of those, every time I take my index off, it's going to be like, what year is it? That's what I'm hoping, at least.
Oftentimes, like say, going back to the bar scenario, you can sometimes find someone really interesting in VR chat. I think VR chat at its heart is really a place where those that kind of have trouble for various reasons.
About self-progression, emotion. And when it comes to like that really innate feeling that we get, like when you're angry and you have spite for somebody or some shit like that, just let it go, bro.
A man does not die when his life comes to an end. A man dies when he's forgotten. And thus, love your loved ones and they'll remember you. And then you'll never die. Life eternal. Vita eterna.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.